Yo, what's up, everybody? See if anybody comes in the chat. I know there's a lot going on right now. It's all good. I told a couple people I was going to go live tonight, so I thought I would. What's up, Annette Marie? Sylvia? Count me in. Hope everybody's Friday is good. I've had an interesting one. Undercover boss. What's happening? Tony Scaturo. Tony Scaturo from San Diego. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I went on live earlier today. Probably I don't know. I don't remember what time. It was somewhere around 2 o'clock or something like that. What's up, Amy? Um and I just wanted to continue what we were talking about a little bit. And I I'm very grateful for this platform, and I'm very grateful for this channel. And I'm very, very grateful for what's up, Irish, for Irish and Amy and Alexis P. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have this voice, and I'm very grateful for people asking me questions like this. Mignon is, I'm not sure yet. I'm sure she's fine, but we have not heard from her yet. I'm pretty sure that she's recovering. I'm hoping so, because um, she's in a lot of pain all the time, and she's her attitude about it is incredible. Like, she doesn't really sleep. I don't really notice it, and I don't, what's crazy is I don't really, like, it doesn't register to me a lot of the times because I'm kind of stupid. um and and I get brain farts all the fucking time, but yeah, she was in chat last night, but I don't think she entered surgery yet, Dawn. But I I love that. The thing is, I don't really notice that uh she's up all hours, and it's because she's in so much pain that she can't sleep, but you never tell because she won't complain about it. She'll just kind of let you know what's going on, but she'll always drop like a cool ass gif or gif, however you pronounce it, and something really funny. And she's got this very, very incredibly resilient attitude. And she's been with me from the start, and so she really gets what I'm trying to do with this channel, and she really gets like what I'm talking about, and she relates a lot. And it's such a blessing to have somebody like that. um it's such a blessing to have somebody like that, uh who you are inspiring in some way. And I can't even, yeah, that's it, count me in. It is awesome. She's so I've had this from the start, and she'll text me, like on her own, like outside of the chat sometimes, just because she has so much appreciation and love for what I do on this channel and what I'm trying to do. And then I'm sleeping, and I just forget that she's on the other side of the world, and the time frames, are almost opposite. It's almost a 24-hour difference, or a 12-hour difference, um where she is, in Australia. And I've gotten some really great subscribers from Australia. um I'm a big fan of that shit. I love that shit. Um, and so I'm really glad. I'm really glad that that somebody asked um how she was doing, because um all of us in the it's crazy because she's always right on top of the chat, and it's weird to not hear from her right now. um and especially with everything that's going on YouTube, it's really it's a very, very strange uh time, because there's a lot of different emotions being thrown around. There's 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 uh there's uh anger, there's sadness, there's there's even celebration, and all for very good reasons. That's so that's what makes it strange. All of these different, everybody has a valid reason to feel all these different ways. And so I get really uh I get really fascinated. I have a way of just kind of stepping back and looking at things, um and I have a way of getting deep down and dirty into it too. And so it's a weird experience, but it's also very, very cool. But I uh I felt that it was very important to me, since I was getting a different uh kind of I guess you could call it an audience. I was getting a different audience because of the time of day that I went on was very abnormal for me. I'm usually on around this time. So I thought that it would be a little irresponsible for me to not try to continue what I was doing earlier today. And I I absolutely love that we have this to where we can do positive, wonderful things. And um so, as you know about Heidi Broussard, or Bouchard, I think is how you pronounce it, because she's from Louisiana. She's from the Bayou, and I think that's it's supposed to have kind of a Cajun thing to it. You know what I mean? And and um, the sad news about her being murdered, we still don't have all the details on that. And I'm not a true crime channel, so I'm not going to sit here and go over all of the details. I'll leave that to the YouTubers who specialize in that. Um, and I want to show them the respect for doing that. And I don't want to I don't want to assume to minimize. I feel like it would minimize their efforts if I sat here and tried to do what they do, which is why I don't do it, regardless of my interest in it. So leave it up to the professionals, so to speak. So I I definitely feel as though as I was talking about earlier today, you know, this man Shane Carey, he is I'm not going to get too deep into that, but there was a lot of controversy within the community about his place in this case, and his role in it. And right now I'm in a place where I am I am relieved that they are on the verge of getting the closure and justice that is that they deserve. But also, I I want to use this platform for as much good as I can. And the fact of the matter is, Shane, uh he is a he's a single father now, and he's a blue collar guy, and he's and it saddens me to imagine being. I have been in his position. I have been a single father, and I've always been a blue collar guy. and I've always worked to support myself and do my best to do my family right, do right by my family, and so I have an overwhelming feeling of empathy for this man right now. And I also have an overwhelming feeling of empathy for his children. And I know that they don't have a lot of money. And normally, I am extremely against victims' families when they have a GoFundMe or a PayPal or something. When I can't see it being anything other than just capitalizing on sympathy. In my eyes, when you are a family member of one of these victims and you don't have even remotely a decent reason to put yourself out there and put your hand out there and ask for money, and you're trying to capitalize off of the sensationalism of the case that your family was involved in, then I no longer see you as a victim. Automatically, that goes away from me. Maybe that's a flaw. I don't know. But I'm just being honest with you about how my mind works. And I think that that is, oh, hey, Molly Go Lightly. Wow. She's in our chat. How we doing? Um, so right now, uh, I as soon as families start to do that, families of victims, and I'm not going to go into that too deep, I no longer see them as victims. So I don't worry about that sort of thing. And I actually kind of get disgusted by it if I'm being completely honest. But I believe this situation is very, very, very different. I believe that this situation um, is the circumstances call for us as a community and call for us as just good, decent people right at the holidays, right at the start of the holidays, to make sure that to do what we can to make sure that these kids have the best possible Christmas. Now, obviously, baby Margot, she's too young to really, she's not going to remember any of this. This probably won't traumatize her too much. Hopefully not anyway. But she will definitely, uh, her life is drastically altered. Um, and, and she deserves a good chance. So, regardless of how you feel about this man, the father, there are two children right now who can barely afford clothing, from what I understand. And so, if you look in the chat, my mods, if you're watching the chat, my mods are dropping links for I think it's a Facebook Patreon for Shane's family. I know there's one of them. I don't know which one is which, but I know one of them is um for Heidi's parents, because they have Silas right now. And I think he's about 6 or 7 years old. I'm not 100% sure on that. Again, these details I leave up to the true crime people. That's not my forte necessarily, but I definitely feel a an overwhelming amount of sympathy for Silas and for baby Margot. And I want I think, honestly, I think there's a lot of people that could do their hearts a lot of good right now by donating to these people. And all I'm doing is spreading the word. I don't I don't have I don't have all I'm doing right now is spreading the word. I don't have access to any of these GoFundMe's or what or anything. Um but I I feel that I have a platform right now, small as it is. I'm grateful for it. I feel it's the responsible thing to do to try to spread the word on this and try to make things easier for this family. So, um, that's the best that I can do. So if you can find it in your hearts to do something nice for this family, um, I think that that's going to make you feel like a very, very, very good person. Well, yes, I can honestly say, Lily, and that's a great point. I can honestly say, Lily, that my mods, I've been working very closely with, or at least chatting and talking very closely to Danielle, who has a channel called Real Massacre Talk. And her mods are on top of everything and they do deep, deep research. So, hey, Doodlebug. So I'm I trust them and their judgment as far as whether or not these funds are legit. So I completely agree with you. You should not donate to things unless you find them to be legitimate. Absolutely not. Yes, thank you. Count me in. Yes, I absolutely have. Well, my mods have, that's for sure, and Danielle's mods have. These people have been on top of this thing, uh, gathering all the facts that they can for this case. And they have a Facebook group dedicated to the case, and it's just I think it's just the right thing to do right now. Um, I think it's very, very important to absolutely move forward here and try to focus on the things that still need attention. Uh, and I think that the well-being of this family, because it's easy, man. I get it. I get it. It's real easy to get lost in the sensationalism of a high profile case. I totally get it. And uh oh shit, is that the wrong link, Irish? Hold on. Yeah, I totally get it. There's a lot of things that go on and there and you know, and we get real caught up in more about the popularity of the case than and sometimes we forget that these are real people. Like I was listening to John Crimes. He made a little video, and what I liked about that was he's a true crime creator, and and I don't use the term creator loosely, the way that I would describe myself. Um, but he's he wasn't following the case because he was very busy doing something else, and then he was live with me, and then I kind of told him about the case. I just kind of let him know that it was out there, and he went out and did what he does, and he posted a reaction video to, which is very much what I did. His is just 100 times better quality, but he did a reaction video to Shane's interview, and his and um he only judged it based on the fact that he knew that it was being compared to the Chris Watts case. He didn't know any real facts about the case. He just the basics. And he did this fantastic little reaction video, and he expressed himself very honestly. And then today he posted another video as an update to his feelings about what had transpired last night as far as the developments in the case. And he did and he spoke out about some things that I very much agree with. And I still stand by those things, very, very much so. And but the way that I'm looking at it is that's already passed. It happened yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So, and much times, many times, we forget that these are real people that are involved in this case, and there are people left in the turmoil of all this. There are families. Like I had my friend Sean, his life got turned upside down because he was the one who turned over evidence that got his adoptive mother locked up. He's the one who provided the police. He stumbled on the evidence and he provided the police with it. Can you imagine how difficult that must have been for this man? This is a guy that he just dropped me off just now. This is a guy I hang out with every day. He comes to my job. We shoot the shit. And he was this key player in this high profile case that was on fucking Dateline, right? And this guy's whole life got turned upside down, you know, and nobody gives a shit. This guy got stuck with everything. And it's funny because even when these victims end up like coming out, like they're on top, right? These victims, or not the victims, but the victims too, but his adoptive mother, she and her husband basically ripped off everyone, and they were perpetrators of stolen valor and collected benefits, veteran benefits, and took donations and all kinds of crazy shit. And it was in the sum of like close to $1 million or something like that. It was fucking insane. And so this dude at the end of it all, right? He ends up with everything she's got. But the thing is there's lawsuits, there's people they got to pay back money that came from in the first place. So he doesn't see any of that. But his adoptive mom's a fucking pack rat, right? So he's got to end up with all her shit, and he has to go rent a truck, and he has to figure out how to get rid of it all because he lives in a fucking 2-bedroom apartment, just him and his son, and even still, he lived in a house. He was married at the time, but he lived in a house, but it was a small house between him, his wife, and his 2 kids. And, well, 3 kids. And so this is a woman who lived well beyond her means and was a pack rat on top of everything else, and had to like fill up a semi truck full of shit. And he just ended up with all her mess. That's all he ended up with, all her fucking mess. So imagine what it's like if you're a victim. If you're a victim of a crime that's got all this high profile attention on it, and you don't have jack shit. You don't have jack shit to show for it. Nothing. So now not only are you fucking broke and worse off than you were before, because to say the least, your wife's gone. The help that you had to take care of your household is gone. You don't have that income coming in. But if she was somebody who works, you've got 2 kids that you got to take care of all by yourself. When you are a blue collar guy who gets up in the morning and works your ass off just to put food on the table, just to make rent. And so now he's got to figure out how he's going to take care of these kids all by himself. And to me, that's the important thing right now. To me, that's the important thing to focus on right now. So I choose to use this very, very small platform that I have, that I'm so blessed with, to do that very little that I can do. And I love the fact that I have the modest amount of subscribers that seem to trust my word. They seem to like what I have to say. They seem to know where my heart is. And now we have an opportunity like I was talking about earlier today, we have an opportunity to come together and do something good and move forward with this and cut out the fat, any pettiness. Oh, I was right about this and you were right, you were wrong about that, and blah blah blah. That's all a mess. And none of that shit fucking matters. None of it matters. So the question of whether or not this man's guilty or not, now that still remains to be seen. To be perfectly honest, that still remains to be seen if he was involved. That's absolutely true. That's 100% true. We don't know. We don't have any idea. The police still are not giving us all the details, and rightfully so. But we can sit here and be completely honest and say that law enforcement kicked ass in this case and did their jobs and did their due diligence, to say the least. I mean, they swiftly acted and utilized their resources responsibly and effectively. So here we are, and we've got this amazing platform to where we can talk about these wonderful, absolutely good things that we have to be grateful for in this entire situation. There are good things that we can make good things happen out of this horrible situation. We have an opportunity to do that. I have an opportunity here to do that. A small one, be it as it may, but an opportunity nonetheless. You people have an opportunity to do something about it. I mean, if you're willing to click on a button for a super chat to hear somebody just fucking talk about whatever, or spread drama, and that's okay. That's cool. It's something that interests you. It's worth it to you to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. That's what the super chat is for. Shit, the minute that I get a hold of super chat, I'm probably going to use it. You know? Because why not? If I'm entertaining you and you like what I'm doing and you want to show some sort of gratitude for it, I'll take it. Sure. Why not? I was weird about it at first, but now I'm like, why not? you know? And I wouldn't even bring it up if so many of my listeners didn't say, hey, man, why don't you have a Patreon? Why don't you have this? Eh, you know, not there yet. You know what I mean? I'm just not there yet. I'm not 100% comfortable with what I'm doing here yet. But I love trying. I love trying. I love doing this the best that I can. I love fucking up and learning from it. But regardless of any of that shit, the fact that I have this small, wonderful platform is something to be very, very grateful for. But it's also a responsibility. I find it to be a moral responsibility. And if I didn't sit up here and try to do something for this family, I wouldn't be able to do this. I couldn't bring myself to be doing this. So I don't know, man. I don't really know. Um, I'm just gonna look over the chat a little bit here. I mean, this StreamYard, it kind of forces you a little bit. It kind of forces you a little bit to like, um, to you know, look at the chat to some degree, so you can like post on the screen. It gives you that cool little option to where I can post comments from the chat on the screen, to give them some emphasis. And I love that because I love to give you guys all of my attention if I can, because you guys are sitting up here giving me all of yours. It's the least I can do, and I love doing that. But I'm also trying to talk at the same time. And there's creators out there who could just do this shit like it's super easy, and I'm just like, but yeah, I think that we have this, and again, you got Amy here, and she's still dropping. I tell my mods, dude, I don't give a fuck until Mandy's family tells me it's a lost cause. Don't even bother with it anymore, Will. It doesn't matter what I'm talking about. That petition link is going in my chat. My mods know, no matter what happens, no matter what the fuck I'm talking about, you got to remind people, I got to remind people that this situation happened. I'm not just going to let that go. It's not going to be some popular thing that I'm going to talk about and then get bored about later. I'm going to do everything that I can, that I put my attention on. That's what I believe in doing. To me, that's extremely, extremely important. So that's why I continue to put this up. Now, until, as long as I get new subscribers, if I get one new subscriber a day, then I'm putting that thing up in my chat. If everybody else that's been subscribed to me sign this petition to get justice for Mandy, then and then I have one new subscriber, then that thing's going up in hopes that one new subscriber sees it, clicks on it, and signs it. That's how important my word is to me. And it's really, really important to my listeners, the new subscribers, because my original subscribers, they already know all this stuff about me. They already know. I've always been consistent about it. I've never faltered from it, and I'm fucking driven about it. So for my new subscribers, this is who I am. This is what you're going to get from me. And if it's not your cup of tea, that's cool. I get it. I know the other channels that you came from and subscribed from. So what are we talking about here? I'm looking in the chat. Count me in. What are we talking about? Sure, let me post this. Sure, Rex Spacey manages to get on gaming channels where a 14-year-old would see it on gaming level. That's one person just saying, hey, can you do a shout out for a missing teen? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm in this for you guys, man, and I'm in this for me too. Absolutely. But what I get out of it, is seeing that you guys are getting something out of it. So, if you don't feel like you are, that's cool. If you don't feel like you are, hey, man, it's all right. It's all right. But it's so important to me that we don't forget these people who are suffering right now. Because this isn't getting any easier for Shane. Now people are eating their words and saying, oh, well, fuck, I should have never fucking dragged this guy through the mud. Even though people are eating their words on this, then, it doesn't change the fact that this man is still in a position to where he has to raise 2 children by himself. He has to completely and totally alter his lifestyle. And probably, if rumors about this poor man are true, then he's going to have to make some changes. But here's the thing. Let me talk about that for a second. Let me talk about that, because I I can't even tell you how many people talk about how they have a past and how a drastic life altering event changed their attitudes and changed their direction. I can't even tell you. People who were doing totally irresponsible things and living their lives in a completely irresponsible manner, and then boom, some crazy earth-shattering, life-altering event takes place, and they have no other choice but to change their lifestyle. People with good hearts but weak hearts are now in a position where it's like, dude, you can't afford to have a weak heart anymore. You can't afford it. You don't get that luxury anymore. It's time to strengthen up. It's time to start working out. And I don't mean physically. I don't mean that. I mean, it's time to start taking some inventory and looking at the mess in your house, and you just start by picking up one beer can off of the fucking counter, one empty pack of smokes off the floor. You start there. Before you know it, you got a trash bag in your hand, and you're going around the room because you picked up a momentum. And guess what? Your house is getting cleaner, dude. Your house is getting cleaner. And I think that I have all the faith in the world that if these awful rumors about this man are true, then he sees an opportunity here. I can't imagine what this man is going through right now. And yes, Valerie Love, you're right. If it doesn't change you, you're not evolving as a person, you know? And in all fairness, it depends on how bad you want to evolve as a person. How important is it to you to evolve as a person? Because that's the key right there. That's the key question right there. Because it just so happens to me, for me, it's extremely important to evolve as a person. You know, and I know people, man. I know people who I used to run wild with, man. I used to run wild with when I was like 19, 20. And then I spent years wondering where they are. What are they doing? You know, what's going on with your life? You know, I hope you're okay. There's one dude, he spent some time in prison, right? Then the man gets out of prison, right? I find him on Facebook. The guy's like a brother to me. We spent time fucking sleeping on rooftops, getting into shit, but always having each other back. And this dude went into prison for a while, right? And he went into prison for like assault or something like that. He's an angry dude. He's an angry little dude. You know, it's safe to say he probably had a Napoleon complex, or still does. And I absolutely love this guy. I absolutely adore him. But the problem with him is that he just wouldn't learn. You know, even though I hit bottom like recently, just a couple of years ago, about a year and a half ago to be exact, just because, you know, it took me that long. You know what I'm saying? Even though that happened, I still, like, after I was running wild with this dude, I was still in a place where I was like, I got to start making some changes. I got to start doing something better, man. I can't keep going like this. You know, I went back to school and got my GED, you know, and then, I mean, I didn't do shit with it. I did like one semester of college and was like, I'm not ready for school, and I couldn't fucking do it. Right. So I end up, I end up, I end up just working. I meet a girl who at the time was amazing. She was a single mom. She was a single mom at 19 years old, and I was 21. Or I was 20 actually, and a single mom, right? and I fell in love with her, and I fell in love with her little girl, and she's beautiful. I mean, she's, oh man, my kid's mom, man. Let me tell you, dude. When I first got with her, man, she was a knockout, and she was, you know, half Puerto Rican, half Colombian, dope, right? Just the kind of body that was just like bam, bam, bam in the right places. A smile that is fucking radiant. I mean, a perfect, perfect smile, like a toothpaste commercial, right? And lips. If she wore lipstick, she'd look like a clown because people wear lipstick to make their lips look like hers do naturally. That's the kind of look she had. And she was a single mom, and her daughter was everything to her, and she went everywhere with her daughter. And to me, that was my dream woman. And I did everything I could to, to make this woman mine. But at the same time, I was also a very, very angry person. And she was a very, very angry person, and a very bitter person, and a very spiteful person. And I was a very, very angry person, but I wasn't a bitter, spiteful person. And me and her, we just went at it all the time. You have that hot and heavy, everything's perfect, right? You have that hot and heavy, everything's perfect, but you're still drinking, right? You're still drinking. And when fights get out of hand, you throw shit at each other. She starts to fucking smash you with stuff, and she starts to fucking claw your face, and then you slam her up against the wall to get her off you. That kind of crazy shit, right? And this kind of crazy shit happens all the time, right? It happens on a regular basis, and it's ugly, right? But never once did I ever think about doing anything to her. Never once did I ever think about hurting her, or God forbid, her daughter, who later on in life asked me, and that was one of the happiest days of my life. Besides, equally as happy as the day my son was born was the day that little girl asked me if she could call me dad, because I felt like I did something and that I earned it. Regardless of my poisonous relationship with her mom, she was focused on our relationship. And that's the kind of thing that made me want to grow and be a better person. That's the kind of thing that made me want to just do the best that I can. And I still didn't know how to do that. You know, I was young, and I wanted to be a fucking rock star. And I was in bands, and I was doing the stuff that people in bands do. And I get a job in a tattoo shop, and I'm a body piercer, and I wasted fucking almost 10 years of my life on fucking doing that because I thought it was such a sweet life, and I barely made any money, and I could barely give her any child support, even after my son, this is all after my son was born. But we had a poisonous relationship. And I behaved in ways that today I look back on and go, I can't even believe that was me. I was irrational. I said words to people that I love that I can never take back. And I don't know what it was. Her and I, we were just drawn to each other. We were just drawn to each other. So we would break up, and we knew our relationship was poisonous, but we would always, let's try again. We'd still have that passion, and it would be like, let's try again. Let's try again. Let's try again. But no, and here's the thing, Lily CLE, you're saying I'm not the only one. You're right. That's my point of bringing up all this. That's why I'm not afraid to lay all this out for you. That's why I'm not afraid to let you all in on the real me and the things that I am obviously capable of because I've done them before. I don't feel I beyond the fact that I've done these things, beyond that fact, I can't even imagine that I would be capable of doing those things. I can't even begin to imagine that. I look back on that dude and I'm just like, fuck, you know? But the reason why I'm okay with telling you guys all this is because of that, Lily, because I know we all have a past. We all have done ugly shit. And the truth is, if you haven't and gotten past it, I don't really have that much respect for you as somebody who did. I just don't. I look at you probably all kinds of different things. Somebody who was maybe afraid to live their life, somebody who was maybe afraid to stand up for themselves. You know, I don't, you know, I don't have the same respect for you as somebody. I'm not saying I don't respect you. I'm saying I just don't have the same kind of respect for you that I would for somebody who did go through these things and is doing the best they can to be better for the right reasons. So when I look at that video of Shane, I see a man who is, I can only imagine the torment going through his mind. I can only imagine a man sitting there and crying and being totally uncomfortable, and a lot of it is blaming himself. You know, I can imagine him sitting there going, God, please, I'll be better. Just make sure she's okay. Make sure my baby girl is okay. Dude, when my son was 3 weeks old, dude, like I couldn't. There's no way I was strong enough to be able to handle anything happening to him. There's just no fucking way. There's no fucking way. I could not ever even begin to be able to handle that. That boy, man, me and him were just tight. Me and him just got this thing, you know. But you know, when I get that phone call from him, he's thinking about me, and he just gives me that phone call. I'm just like, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm the luckiest dude in the world. Now there's times where he'll talk to me and I'll just fucking sigh and I'll be like, because it's fucking exhausting listening to him make certain decisions. I'm like, fuck, man, come on. Don't you ever hear a word I fucking say, dude. Come on, man. You are smarter than me. That's a fact. Both my kids are so much smarter than me. So much. Most people are smarter than me. You know, I'm sitting there and I'll be like, come on, man. There's nothing worse than somebody that you know is like super intelligent and they just habitually do stupid shit. There's nothing more frustrating than that. But at the end of the day, it's all out of love. You know, it's all out of love. I was convinced. I was like, if this guy's not a criminal mastermind, if this guy killed his wife and daughter, right? If this guy did that, it was a total crime of passion. And that's not an excuse. Don't, before this continues, somebody tries to take apart what I'm fucking saying. That is most definitely not an excuse. What I'm saying is, this is not a mastermind who planned anything. I'm willing, and again, I'll eat my words. If it turns out this man had something to do with with the kidnapping and death of his wife and kidnapping of his little girl, if it turns out that I'll eat my words, man. I'll if if I lose every fucking subscriber over it, then fine. You know what I mean? But I don't. I don't believe that in my heart, man. In my heart, I believe this man to be a man who genuinely loves his family. You know, I just and I can't I can't imagine. Yeah, I just the man that I was looking at in that interview, I did not, I can't see him uh planning something of that magnitude, even as sloppy as it was. I mean, it really wasn't that sloppy, as far as we know so far. We don't really know anything, but it you know, it had all of us, with the facts that we had, it had all of us scratching our heads, going, how the fuck could this woman disappear in broad daylight from such a crowded apartment complex? That's crazy. Right next to a very, very busy street. We couldn't figure it out. Everybody was like, what the fuck? So it looked like we were talking about human trafficking. Oh, it had to be professionals. So I mean, I'm not seeing a man who did this stuff. I'm seeing a man who who is faced with a situation that he didn't even know how to handle. And right now, this is where it gets hard for him, man. This is where it gets hard for him. You know, it's all good and dandy that people who fucking uh sat there and accused this guy of being a fucking family annihilator are now realizing, he's not. That's all great. I get that. But now is when things are really going to get hard for him. And I think that we can all do a little something for them. So that's what I'm doing. You know, reasons like this are the only reason that I ever really give a shit about having a large platform. And that's the God's honest truth. Reasons like this are the only reason that I wish for a larger platform, so I can use my channel responsibly, so I can inspire other people. Same reason I wanted to make music, you know? So, yeah, man. All you guys, if you got if you got if you got $5 to donate to a super chat that's talking about somebody who was talking shit about somebody else on another channel, if you got $5 for that shit, come on, man. You got a dollar. You got a dollar to help a man try to 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 take a bad situation and do the best he can with it. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. And again, I'm going to talk about Mandy's situation just for a second. So for anybody listening on the replay, and you're watching the chat on the replay, because there's not that many people in here, and pretty much I think everybody that's in here has already signed that petition. But if you're happening to catch the replay, please sign the petition for Mandy. This is a wonderful young woman who could be the victim of a hate crime that has yet to be determined exactly, but the way it looks that way. She was run over by somebody with a truck after leaving a bar drunk, got in his truck and had a verbal altercation with Mandy. and he was with his girlfriend or something to that effect, and she was yelling out uh, homophobic slurs, and this man ran her over with his truck because he says that she was about to damage his truck. He wasn't afraid for his life. He was afraid of a dent on his truck. So he felt that that was a justifiable reason to run somebody over with it. And then the man gets out. And this is because the reason I know this is because witnesses saw him do it. The man gets out of his truck, looks at her laying there, and looks at his truck to see if there's any damage in it, gets in his truck, and drives away. It's reported, license tag, description, all of it. Dude doesn't get arrested until the next day, right? And then you're asking yourself, well, what was he arrested for? What was the charge? It wasn't a DUI. It wasn't manslaughter. It wasn't involuntary manslaughter. It wasn't first-degree murder. It wasn't second-degree murder. It wasn't third-degree murder. It was fleeing the scene of an accident involving a fatality. Fleeing the scene of an accident involving a fatality. Now, when I hear that, or when I tell that story, every time I tell it, I get infuriated. I get pissed, angry. And I don't work for the DA. I don't even live in that town. But apparently, because she is an openly gay woman in an openly gay marriage, well, not an open, that's a wrong way to put it, but in a gay marriage, because of that, it seems like there's no justice being done. It seems like this guy is a buddy with everybody because he happened to have flashed a badge to witnesses that he stole from a fire department that he volunteered at very briefly. So this guy's no hero. I don't want to paint that picture because he's not. He barely worked there. He barely volunteered for him. But he flashed a badge to get out of there, and he stole the badge. He didn't even earn it. And then on top of that, apparently he also has buddies. Because of that, he has buddies in the police force. So since he has buddies in the police force, and it's a small town in Oklahoma, I got no reason to suspect anything other than good old boy bullshit. So this man just had a court date. I believe it was yesterday. He had a court date and he's got to go back to court. You know how these things go. He's got a court date. He's got to go back to court. So what that does, it presents me and her family the opportunity, as I was discussing earlier in my earlier live today, it gives us an opportunity to collect more signatures for that petition. It gives us an opportunity to raise more awareness about this horrible situation so that this family can get justice for the death of Mandy Gorsuch. It gives us an opportunity to pressure the local DA to charge Zachary Simmons with at least something that is going to put him behind bars for enough time to consider his actions and make a better life for himself and make better decisions and be a better person. to rehabilitate this man or punish him. I don't give a fuck. Whatever he gets out of it. But he doesn't deserve to be walking around the rest of us. Not after doing something like that. And not after not taking any accountability for it. Count me in. What is the question? What's the insurance for? I don't know what you're talking about. The only thing I can think of that you're talking about is maybe the wrong link that Irish accidentally put up. But I think we can all see this as an opportunity to do a little bit more moving forward. This is a powerful thing. This is a powerful thing. And right now, I just learned tonight that there's going to be a whole lot more attention on the YouTube platform. A whole lot more attention because of this Heidi Broussard case. So there's going to be eyes on this community. There's going to be eyes on this community from the mainstream. And this is an opportunity to get those eyes to recognize us as the unrecognized responsible platform that can help make a difference, that can do something positive. So I choose to go down that road. I choose to do the best I can with this channel in lieu of that, and in lieu of the fact that it's already a huge platform. Nobody gives a fuck about what we say our intentions are. Nobody gives a fuck about that. People give a fuck about actually doing something and producing results. That's what matters. And yes, Doodlebug, as far as Zachary Simmons goes, there could be another person. And that also reminds me, by the way, friends, Zachary Simmons was charged in 2015 for, guess what? A hit and run. And he got away with it. This would be the second time this man gets away with hitting somebody with his truck and getting away with it. Now, I don't know about you, but that doesn't sit well with me. That doesn't sit well with me at all. I can't just sit here and not do something about that. Now, even though I can't do much, I choose to be grateful for the little I can do and make the best of it. So I hope that somehow inspires you as listeners to do the same thing. And all I'm asking you to do is sign a piece of paper. All I'm asking you to do is donate $1 or $2 to Shane Casey's family and Shane Casey. And yes, Valerie Love, yes. He sounds like he's got special treatment. Absolutely. I think he's got friends in the right places and they're looking out for him. But the only way that's going to change is if you put somebody under the spotlight and make them do something right. You make them do the right thing. Put the spotlight on them and say, okay, everybody's watching you. What are you going to do now, Mr. District Attorney? What are you going to do? What kind of choices are you about to make? You're going to look all these people in the face and tell them that they don't get justice? You're going to look all these people in the face and just let a man who thinks he can run over people with his truck and get away with it, get away with it? That's what you're going to do? Not me, man. Not me. I'm going to yell. I'm a bitch. I'm a moan. And I'm going to do what I can. And I love this too. I love that all my old school people are in here right now. I love that shit. This is just like it was weeks ago. I love that shit. Before things got a little crazy. I'll tell you what, man. I've been more stressed out. For a minute there, this wasn't fun anymore, man. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. For a minute there, this wasn't fun anymore. That bullshit that happened with Gray Hughes. And by the way, I publicly apologize. I'm gonna mention something right now. I publicly apologize to this man, right? And I don't regret apologizing to him. I definitely don't regret apologizing to him because I meant what I said. I should not have behaved the way that I did because I should not have gone on somebody else's channel and acted so carelessly. It was disrespectful to Science Girl to drink and then engage. She was okay with the fact that I had been drinking because we were having a lighthearted conversation. And then I became passionate about stuff like this. That's not a good thing for me to do when I'm drinking. I'll tell you that shit right now. So I became passionate about that. And I put him on the spot. And it was a very uncomfortable situation. And I'm looking at the chat and it was entertaining to the people in the chat at the time. But then all it takes is for one person to think that it's not cool. And then the word spreads, right? The word spreads. Then all of a sudden, people turn their back on you, right? And that's cool because when you experience that, you see where you stand. You know where you stand. If you pay attention to it, you know where you stand. And that's a good thing. That's a blessing. That's an opportunity. That is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to self-reflect and go, wait a minute, which road was I going down here? What's happening here? I'm not trying to go down that road again. But going back to Gray Hughes, I'm going to explain a little something a little fun that I experienced the other day. So after all the hoopla, after everything was said and done, and after I apologized to this man numerous times and not expecting a response, I didn't do it to get a response. So keep that in mind when I tell you this next little tidbit, folks, because I did not expect a response. I didn't do it to get a response. As far as I knew, the man blocked me. If anything, I was apologizing to the people that I had subjected my behavior to. But I meant the stuff I said to Gray. I just wish I hadn't done it under those circumstances, which I have already said. But then, out of the blue, I get a notification that I get a comment. I get a comment from Gray Hughes in the comment section of one of my lives. I believe it was the one that John was on. And not only did this man start off by saying, I appreciate your apology, but he went on to insult me. And then he went on to criticize me. And then he went on to give me advice that I sure as fuck didn't ask for from him or anybody else. So I deleted the comment, and I'll tell you why I deleted the comment. I deleted the comment because after he leaves the comment, he blocks me, and I don't have the opportunity to answer back in the comment. So if you're asking yourself, Will, you've already gone over this, why are you talking about it now? This is why I'm talking about it now. Because the man leaves a comment trying to rip me apart so that everyone can see it, but then blocks me so that I cannot return the comment. I can't even respond to the comment on my own comment thread. To me, that's a coward. So I'm here to tell Gray Hughes, you can kiss the duck butter off the back of my balls after a heavy workout. I didn't ask for your advice. I don't want your advice. Blow me. And that is the last time I'm going to mention Gray Hughes on this channel. So, moving on. I choose to do the best that I can with myself and this channel. That is why this channel exists. That is why I started it. And that is why I'm going to continue it. And I am not going to falter from the reasons why I started this channel. I'm definitely not going to falter from the reasons I started this channel. Oh, Lily, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it one bit. I'm here to tell you I say things, and I mean what I say. And I consider the consequences when I say them. And I stand by the things that I say. If you subscribe to me for any reason whatsoever, I would prefer it to be because you're always going to get the genuine me, no matter what. No matter what. Even if it embarrasses me, if I feel that if I have to put my own personal my own personal past out there to make a point that I feel passionate about, that's what I'll do. And you're going to get that from me every time. You're going to hear me fuck up, but you're always going to hear me genuinely try to make it right. You're going to hear me fuck up, then you're going to hear me acknowledge it. You're going to hear me take accountability for it, and then you're going to hear me do my best to make it right. But sometimes I'm going to say things that you think I fucked up by saying them, but I don't. And I'm going to stand by them. And if it's something that makes you lose any respect you already had for me, I'm sorry it turned out that way. I'm sorry it came to that. What's up, True Helper? So all I give a shit about is making good on my word to the people who totally supported me when I started this channel. That's all I give a shit about. I'm grateful for any new subscribers. But the thing is, man, the metaphor I always use is I'm a moving train. Moving train, it's not an easy thing to stop, man. And I'm a moving train, and there's plenty of room on board. So you're more than welcome to hop on, go down this journey with me. But I'm going down this journey regardless. I'm going down this journey. But it may not behoove you to step in front of me. And I and I could have 500 subscribers, you know, or I could have 5,000 subscribers. But as long as I keep getting that one email from somebody who says, "Will, keep doing what you're doing." Like, I was listening to you and I loved how you put yourself out there, and you were so genuine, and so many of us need more than that. When I hear shit like that from people, dude, like, how the fuck am I going to stop? How the fuck am I going to stop? And right now, what's important to me, what I'm driven about right now, the direction my train is going, is to try to make this experience, this awful experience for Shane and his family and for Mandy's family, as comfortable as it's in my power to do so. I know it's not much, but it's something. It's something. And all of you can be part of that. All of you can be part of that by simply signing a petition or donating $1. Yes, Luce Investigates. Yes, I believe the GoFundMe has been verified. I have not personally verified it, but I trust my mods extremely. I chose my mods carefully, and Danielle from Real Massacre Talk, I've been friends with her for a very long time now. Um, I'm only aware of the true crime cases that I became aware of in groups and on YouTube because of her. And she has a set of mods that she trusts with all her heart. Now, you guys, here's the thing, she's got a couple thousand subscribers for her channel, but none of y'all ever heard of her. None of y'all ever heard of her. But that's because she don't get into the bullshit. She don't get into the bullshit. Danielle don't do that. Danielle takes on a case that she feels passionate about, and it may not be a popular case. She didn't know when she took on this case, she didn't know it was going to be popular. She didn't know it was going to blow up. She didn't know it was going to pop the way it did. It was just something that she felt passionate about. So she got on it right away, fast. Made me aware of it right away, fast. And so she does the best she can, and she covers facts. She cuts out the rumors. I'm for the first time ever, I'm in the chat with her mods, and I'm watching them work, and I'm blown away. I'm fucking blown away. And her mods are just working, collecting facts, and even going, "What do you think? You think this is bullshit? Well, what's the source? It's not a fucking credible news source. Chuck it, trash it. We're not going by that." And I'm talking, they look through the Facebook group, they look at everything. They're looking at screenshots of people who might know somebody, and then they're checking the credibility on that. They're doing checks to see who they are. They're looking up their Facebook, they're looking up their Instagram, they're doing homework. They're getting on it. So when those people tell me that these GoFundMes are legit, I'm taking their word for it. I'm taking their word for it. Good night, Lily. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Very sweet thing to say. Yes, Valerie Love. She is no bullshit. Absolutely not. Danielle is not bullshit. She's probably asleep right now. I sure as fuck don't blame her. I mean, it's almost 2 a.m. She's a full-time mom. And here she is collecting facts on cases that nobody seems to give a fuck about. Oh, hey, sleuths, man, don't sweat that, man. It's all good. Like, I get it, man. I'm, dude. I was talking about. I think you just joined the chat, but I was talking about earlier how it's, it's. I'm real wary uh about these type of GoFundmes in situations like this. I'm real iffy about them. But the more I think about it, the more I think that this is a good thing to donate to this man and his family. Because I think at the very least, I think the people who have fucking trashed this guy, I think that's a good way of kind of taking their words back, showing some support, showing that they mean it, showing that they really care about these victims. What's not a legit GoFundMe? If it's not a legit GoFundMe, then I will get people on top of it and make sure that we do something about that. So, oh, sassy pants. Yeah, right on, man. I'm glad you did. But yeah, Danielle's great. And it's to me, I'm shocked that I haven't worked with her publicly on here earlier. I'm surprised at myself for that, as a matter of fact. Um, Considering how close we've been, and I definitely feel like now that I'm figuring out StreamYard a little bit, and I'm kind of doing what what everybody else is doing, but they just know how to use this a lot more than a lot better than I do because I just started using it. Um, Now that I'm figuring this out, I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of collaborations with her. I'm going to use this channel to make people aware of cases that her channel is covering. And again, I'm not a true crime channel. I'm just here to spread the word, man. And I'm here to talk about some good experiences in my life, and I'm here to inspire people, man, if I can, you know. I mean, I don't know if I have any business doing it, but it seems that there's one or two people that seem to dig it at least. So I'm here to do that for them. And I get something out of it. I get that feeling of gratitude. Like, it's to a point where I get grateful just for having the ability to feel grateful. That's how fucking crazy that is. Dude, I was at McDonald's today, man, right? I went to McDonald's and uh I was like, all right, you know what I'm gonna do? Because I barely had any money, So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get a cheeseburger and hold on, let's see what you say here. Hey, thanks, Donnie Color. I was like, I'm gonna get a cheeseburger, no ketchup, because I think ketchup is nasty on a cheeseburger. I barely ever eat it with fries, but um, I was like, a cheeseburger, no ketchup, and a McChicken. And then you know how the person up front, they tell you, if we don't ask you about this, then it's free, right? Well, she asked me about it. She was like, you want to try our new crispy chicken sandwich, right? And I look at it, I take a good look at it, and I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers are seeing Chick-fil-A for what it is. Chick-fil-A is the worst competition you motherfuckers ever had, because Chick-fil-A is coming up. I've gone on this channel, this very channel, and talked Chick-fil-A up. They should fucking pay me. They should sponsor me for how fucking much I talk about Chick-fil-A and how much I love it. Chick-fil-A is fucking delicious. It's amazing. But they never will, because I can't emphasize how good they are without using the word fucking. So that'll never happen. But I I love Chick-fil-A, right? So I laughed, when she was like, oh, you know, she was like, you try our new chicken sandwich, and I was, a crispy chicken sandwich or whatever. And I was just like, man, get that shit out of my face. Let's see what y'all are trying to do. Y'all are trying to be Chick-fil-A. I'm not interested in that shit. You can't be Chick-fil-A. You guys got peanut oil back there? I told her that. I was like, you guys have peanut oil back there now to cook those things? She was like, peanut oil. And I was like, see, you don't even know what I'm talking about. You can't copy Chick-fil-A. This is McDonald's. If I come to McDonald's, it's because I want to eat McDonald's. It's because I want to eat a damn Big Mac if I could shell out enough money for it. That's what I want. If I'm in the mood for McDonald's, I eat McDonald's. If I'm in the mood for Chick-fil-A, I eat Chick-fil-A. I'm not trying to come to McDonald's and eat some knockoff Chick-fil-A. It's not what I'm trying to do. And so she's like, look, I'm telling you, it's so good. She's like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say that I didn't ask you for it. I'm going to go ahead and take the shit and say that you didn't ask me for it. And I'm going to let you have one. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, okay. Yo. Hey, I'm not even gonna try, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not gonna lie. McDonald's, they came close. It's not Chick-fil-A, all right? It's not Chick-fil-A, but it came close. It came fucking close. So if you happen to be at McDonald's, it's like this, dude. If you're fighting with your family, I want McDonald's. Nah, I want Chick-fil-A. Be like, fuck it. If you have to settle for it, you go to McDonald's and you order their fake ass Chick-fil-A sandwich, and it's not that bad. They even put it in like the little white bag with the foil in the inside. They even try to copy that shit. The bun's a little different. Like the bun's a little glossier, you know? So like, but this girl at the front, she was looking at the big picture, man. She was looking at the grand scheme of things and was like, you have to try this sandwich. I'm willing to let you have it for free right now, just so you can get the fuck out of here and talk about it. And now look at me. Now I'm promoting McDonald's. Now I'm using my little platform here and I'm talking this shit up, which I didn't even realize I was doing until right now. So look at what that just did. Look at what that just did. Because the next time you go into McDonald's, you're going to see that thing and be like, shit, Will was talking about that. You might get it. You might not. But you're going to remember, Will was on his channel talking about that shit. He was talking how good it was. So, yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about that. Like I said, it's not Chick-fil-A, but they did a pretty good job of coming pretty close to it, man. They're not even trying to hide it. They're not even trying to hide it. They're not even trying to hide the fact that they're trying to knock off Chick-fil-A. That girl, she was standing at the counter and she looked at me. And when I said, man, y'all are just trying to be Chick-fil-A, she looked down and started shaking her head. She was like, dang, you know? She was like, you just don't know. That thing is so good. So I was like, all right. I mean, and it wasn't as good as she made it out to be. But I'll tell you this, though. It's one of the best things I ever had at McDonald's. But that's only because Chick-fil-A is the greatest thing ever put on this earth, in my opinion. Chick-fil-A is delicious. So that was a cool experience today, man. That was fucking awesome. Just out of nowhere, I got a free fake ass Chick-fil-A sandwich just because this girl was trying to talk it up. Every day, something cool like that happens to me, man. Every day. It may not be that cool, but it's cool. And I guarantee something like that happens to each and every person in this chat. You just may or may not be in the habit of looking for it and acknowledging it. You may or may not. But I'm telling you right now, the fact that I do makes me a lot happier. I'm a happier man. Making a point to have gratitude for the things that you should be grateful for. That's a thing, man. That's a thing with me. So, I recommend it, man. I recommend it. I'm not telling y'all what to do. I would never presume to tell anybody here what to do. I might tell you what I don't think you should be doing. But I'll never sit here and tell you what to do. Y'all can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you that I'm happier doing these things, focusing on making Shane's life just a little bit easier, despite these horrible circumstances. That, focusing on making Margot's life a little easier, focusing on making Silas's life just a little bit easier, hoping they have a better Christmas. That, despite the fact that there's no way that this isn't going to be the worst Christmas of Silas's life, the worst Christmas of Shane's life. There's no changing that. But man, if we can all come together a little bit and cushion that a little bit, just put a little pillow down. Shit, man. That's a powerful thing, man. That's a powerful motherfucking thing. Yo, hey, Amy Source, I'm telling you right now, I am the hamburger. I will steal motherfuckers' hamburgers. I love hamburgers. It's just fantastic. So, and what's funny is, today at work was challenging as fuck, man. I think I was still kind of frustrated with everything that was happening with this case, because I got really into this case and I got really emotional about it. And there's a lot of things about it that are bothering me, and that made it a little difficult to deal with my day. And a lot of it, I had to break the habit. I normally go just to get my head in the game. I get a good workout in before my shift, and I didn't really do that because I was up so late on somebody else's live, and then I slept in real late, and then I went on live, and I used the time that I would be working out on being live, and that made me feel good, but it wasn't the same thing, it was, I had to break my habit of what I normally do. I had to break my normal routine, and that makes it easy. That makes it a little more difficult to manage, anxiety. If that's, I don't know. There's a lot of people out there that probably have anxiety and they understand what I'm talking about. But part of managing my anxiety without any medication or anything like that, it's a routine that I've built for myself, and I guess what I should do also is consider the fact that circumstances may happen where I'm not going to have where I'm not going to have that routine, and so I got to be ready to find a backup plan and deal with my anxiety a little bit better when I don't have that routine. I can't rely on that routine. So, and I learned that today, because today was a little difficult. And man, and just the stupidest things got on my nerves, dude. Like, there was this one dude, he comes in and he was, what the fuck did he say that my name was? He was like, anybody ever tell you look like this guy? And I was like, I didn't know who the fuck he was talking about. And I was like, nah, I never heard that name. And he was like, oh, he's a coach for like Arizona State or some fucking college football team. And I was like, nah. But here's the thing about that shit. This dude, he looked exactly like Chris Watts. And I wanted to be like, yo, when he was like, anybody ever tell you look like this guy? I wanted to be like, nah, motherfucker, anybody ever tell you look like Chris Watts? And I imagine that conversation happening in my head. And I imagined like him being like, Chris Watts, who's Chris Watts? And I've been like, I would have had to like awkwardly be like, oh, he's this dude who who annihilated his whole family and shoved his children in oil barrels. Can you imagine how awkward that shit would have been? so so I refrained I refrained from from expressing the fact that I thought that this guy looked exactly like Chris Watts, just with more hair, um, and a kinder demeanor. and the guy he wasn't insulting me. He was being a nice guy. I just wasn't feeling it today, man. I wasn't feeling it, and I was just like, yo, who the fuck is this guy telling me I look like some asshole I never heard of? Because I can be that guy so mad. I can be that guy so bad sometimes, people. I could be that guy that you could just anything fucking annoys me, dude. Just like all of a sudden, boom, like I could be in a bad mood and I can't fucking stand people in general. I become a misanthrope instantly. And and today was one of those days for just a little while, It was just one of those days for just a little while. And I totally wanted to be like, yo, you know, And if I would have said, "Yo, anybody ever tell you look like Chris Watts?" It would have came out like that. It would have came out all. It would have came out all with this contempt in my voice. Dude didn't deserve that. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing that I did not say that, and I did not express myself with that much contempt, because it would have, it would have not been cool at all. Um, it would not have been cool at all. Um, and that's another thing. I can't even believe that I haven't mentioned. I'm shifting gears here. I can't believe that I haven't even mentioned, uh, you know, the funeral arrangements for Heidi. I mean, this guy can't afford that. Her parents can't afford that. Come on, man. Like, yo, if you got $1, dude, $1, just put it in there. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. It'll feel good in your heart. Yo, true helper. Yo, hold on, man. Let me put this up. Let me explain something to you about me. Okay. I'm all about helping people, dude. I'm all about helping people. But when it comes to hamburgers, dude, I'm no fucking Robin Hood. All right. I'm eating those fucking things. Okay. Because I'm poor as fuck and I love hamburgers. Like, I will justify that shit in my head. If I get low enough to steal hamburgers, I'm justifying that shit in my head that I deserve those hamburgers. I earn those hamburgers. Those hamburgers are mine. You don't get none. So, yeah. I mean, if I get full, I'll give them to the homeless. If I get full, I'll give them. If I get full, I'll give them to the homeless. That's so. Yeah. I, oh man. Yeah, man. So I feel. I feel. I definitely feel like, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. If we see this for what it is, if we see this platform for what it is, which is just it's a cool way for people to come together and do something cool for somebody else, man. It's not that hard. It's handed to us on a platter, you know? It's handed to us on a platter. You're already paying for internet. YouTube's free. You know what I'm saying? And here you have access to this community where you get to be part of something dope, right? You get to be part of something fucking dope. Hey, good night, Chris CR. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. So yeah, man. I That's all I'm saying, dude. I mean, who doesn't want to be a part of something fucking dope and cool? Ha, true helper. That's a dope comment. I appreciate that. I love the fact that I made you smile, man. That's everything. Every time, I have days like this. This is what's so cool to me, man. This is what's so cool to me about this is I have a day like I had today. I had a day like I had today. I lost a friend over an ugly misunderstanding, and that hurt. And and I'm not going to talk about that, but that hurt, and that played a big part in fucking my whole day up. Lost two good friends, I think, honestly, but I that played a big part in fucking my whole day up. But then I get to come back here, lift up my laptop, flip it up, get to plug in this dope mic that I was planning on buying, and I could only imagine myself being able to buy it once I'm monetized. And my brother sent it to me. And he sent it to me to support me because he's proud of me for what I'm doing. Let me tell you something. My brother's my fucking hero, dude. My brother's the smartest person I know. He's 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 kind, and he's great. He's always been a really positive example in my life, and I didn't always listen to it. But now that I'm older, and now that he's older, like I'm at my best and he's at his best, and now I'm paying attention at the best possible time I could be paying attention to my brother. My brother is at that place that he's always wanted to be in his entire life. He's got a great career. He's got solid friends that he's been friends with since middle school. He's 2 years older than me, and he's got the same friends that he's been friends with since middle school. And those are that's his crew, right? Those like 4 or 5 guys. That's his crew. You know what I'm saying? And their families. Red Raven, he's 2 years older than me, and he's amazing, and and he's married, and he has a beautiful house, and he has 3 beautiful children, two of which I have yet to meet. Two of which I have yet to meet simply because I can't afford to travel. But and he lives on the other side of the country. But he's got everything that he ever wanted. He had a plan since we were kids, and he's executed this plan. And yes, true helper. My brother is exactly that. A true and genuine type of gent, another chill, mature, and intelligent man. This dude is, yeah, he's fantastic, you know? And so he sends me this mic. Just, I know how he thinks too. I didn't tell him, hey, this is the mic I wanted. This is exactly the mic that I had my eye on because it was a little better than the last one I had. And it, it's the same brand, but it's just a little bit higher quality than the last one I had, just slightly, right? And that's the one I wanted to get. But I never told my brother this. I know my brother, what he did was he looked on the internet and looked it up, and he was like, what mic are podcasters using? Like beginner podcasters and YouTubers. What are they using? Right. And then he came across this thing. He did his little homework, figured out that this one was a good one that was also affordable. Same thing I did. And then went and ordered it on Amazon and sent it to me straight to my house from Amazon. I mean, I'm a grown man. He don't need to wrap it up. Not trying to convince myself Santa Claus sent it to me. He knows me better than that. We're grown ups. He wanted me to know it was from him, and that's it. It's dope. And yes, it's Snowball Mike, but it's the black one, and I wanted the black one. Um, and I see all my favorite creators and even my not so favorite creators using the same mic, but it's usually the white one. And I actually had it before, but for some reason it stopped being compatible with this computer, and I don't understand why. At first the cord got fucked up, and then I went and bought another cord for it. And then I used I I plugged it in, and my computer was just no longer picking it up. So luckily, my buddy, my roommate, he had like a gaming uh headphone set with a mic on it, and that's what I've been using. Um and and I like it. It's cool, but it's not one of these, which is what I really wanted. And so that's my brother's way. My brother just went out and he got me this thing, and it was fantastic. That, like, the feeling that I got was just, beyond gratitude. Like, I was grateful for getting the mic, of course, but I was grateful that it was such a thoughtful gift. And I was mostly grateful because it was something that, and here's the thing about my brother too. My brother's also a condescending motherfucker. Like, and we're very similar in that way. So I can't trash him for that. But he also, he does little things where he'll passive aggressively on Christmas time send me a self-help book, like I'll open that shit and be like, gee, thanks. And his heart's in the right place when he's doing it. It really is. Because he's like, it's not a book that he didn't read. He's just like, this helps me. But he should know me well enough to know that I'm just, even if I do read it, I'm like, all these books say the same shit. I already know that if I'm going to start doing things differently, I have to come up with my own plan. And basically, what's funny is the glare principles are not much different at all than anything that you would read in a self-help book. In your basic self-help book, it's not much different. These are principles that are proven to work. But I'm a stubborn motherfucker, so I just came up with my own plan. I'm not going to do something out of some goddamn book. That's me depending on somebody else. So on a subconscious psychological level, I had to come up with my own self-help plan to be on the road of happiness. So that's what I'm doing. And my brother is very, very supportive of me on this. That's probably why he's seeing the results. He sees pictures of me. I don't even know why Siri turned on. He's seeing the results. He's seeing pictures of me, my physical appearance improving because of all the exercise that I do and how dedicated I am to it. He's seeing me happy. He's hearing these YouTube live streams, and he believes in me, and sending me this mic was a gesture of that. It was the same thing as when he bought me my first acoustic guitar. He didn't buy my mom bought me my first acoustic guitar. But for a long time I didn't have one. And then when my brother graduated college and his career started going, and all of a sudden he was making all kinds of money that he didn't even know what to do with, he came to visit me in Miami, and he was like, he's like, you know what I want to do? He's like, I want to take you to the music store, Sam Ash, and I want you to pick out a guitar. And I was like, nah, you can't do that, man. That's too pricey. He was like, nah, I want you to get a good one though, because, and he's like, I need to do this because I love what you're doing with your music, and I need to know, I want to contribute to that. I want to do something for it. And I want to do it because I have the money to do it. And my brother, make no mistake, my brother's the cheapest dude alive. That dude will pinch every penny. He will find any reason to not have to spend money if he can. That is my brother. He's extremely conservative, but he's also very generous. And And he did that for me and took me, and we went to the music store together, and he got pleasure out of seeing me try out all these different guitars and then fucking take it to the counter and swipe his credit card. He took me with him to buy his first new car on that same trip, on that same visit. um and that was cool because I got to watch him haggle and like walk out of there with the car that he wanted, with the price that he was willing to pay. I mean, it was dope. It was dope to see my brother come up like that, man. And and you know, so I you know, it's such a pleasurable experience, man, to get to this wonderful point where I get to be grateful for things, you know, where despite certain things happening, I can find reasons to be grateful. I could find reasons to be grateful for shitty things that happen in my life because I know I'm going to learn from it. I know, I mean, it's not going to fucking kill me. You know what I'm saying? You know, what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? That everybody decides that I'm a fucking piece of shit and they don't want to listen to me anymore? All right, well, I guess this wasn't the case. Maybe this wasn't the right move. But I had fun experiencing it. I had fun trying it. But I hope that doesn't happen, you know? I'm going to do everything I can to keep you guys interested, and I'm going to do everything I can to be genuine, and if you guys like it, awesome. But you're not going to get anything other than what you're getting right now. This is what you're getting out of me. This is what I do. This is what I do. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try to sell anybody on anything. Wow, true helper. That's really sweet. Thank you. Um but yeah, man. I uh I love the way things are going, man. I love the way things are going. Good things for good things are happening for people that I respect and care about, and good things are happening for me. And I got the feeling that 2020 is going to be a good year, man. I got the feeling that 2020 is going to be a year where just people are moving forward. People are going to come together. And we're going to do good things together. KC Metro. Yeah. So yeah, I really really hope that you guys find it in your heart to just do just the minimum that you can to help Shane and Silas and baby Margot. I just hope that you all can find it in your heart to do just a little bit for them, and find it in your heart to do a little bit for Mandy and her family, and find it in your heart to to start looking at things uh on the positive, instead of tearing each other down, uh instead of being jealous of somebody, or you know, being in competition with them about something, you know. Do something nice. Turn your back on that and then focus on something else, you know. Now I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying it's a good feeling when I do it, and I would be remiss if I didn't tell people that I cared about that it's a nice feeling. and that I recommend that you do it. Irish Eyes. Um, you're gonna have to catch the replay. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go ahead and explain a little bit right now. I'll give you the short version. Mandy is Mandy Gorsuch, Irish Eyes, and Mandy Gorsuch is a victim of what we believe to be a hate crime, and she lived in Oklahoma, and she was run over by a drunk asshole, homophobic, with his truck, and he's not being charged with murder or manslaughter or anything. He's being charged with leaving the scene of an accident involving a fatality. So he's not even charged with anything. He's not even being blamed or being held accountable for killing this poor girl and taking her away from her family. And that doesn't sit well with me here, and that doesn't sit well with my audience. And so there's a petition, and that petition is to get the attention of the district attorney in that town to charge this man with something that's going to hold him accountable for this woman's death. That petition is to let that district attorney know that we are not the type of society that is okay with someone getting away with a crime like that. Yeah, boss hog bullshit for sure, man. That's what that shit is. And that shit's infuriating to me, man. Every time I think about it, every time I talk about it, I get mad as fuck. You know? But see, I'm proud of that. I don't mind getting mad about things that I think are justifiably things to get mad about. I don't mind that. I hate getting mad, but I like getting mad about the right things. I like getting mad about the right things. Most definitely. It's a damn good feeling getting pissed off about somebody doing some bullshit and getting away with it. When they don't have any remorse, when they can't take accountability for it. Thanks, Irish Eyes. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up tonight. It's been a long, hard day. I'm gonna go ahead and probably watch a little TV, find a little something on Netflix or something. Maybe I'll check out that cat thing, man. What's that shit called again? I don't know. Something about don't piss off the cat or some shit like that. That's on YouTube, or not on YouTube, but on Netflix. Maybe I'll look. I'm gonna probably look into that, or I'll catch up on the Mandalorian maybe. But I'm definitely gonna get off here, and I'm gonna do a little chilling, some much needed chilling, so I can go to the gym tomorrow. And anyways, guys, I really appreciate the love, and I really appreciate you guys listening. Thank you so much. I love you guys a lot, and I will be back on tomorrow. All right, guys. Have an excellent night. Thank you so much.